Yeah, hi everyone. So this is Dr. Srikanth from Team MDS Conquer, and we have decided to take a class on what are the available options after BDS and what are the available options after the MDS. Because I think this is a lockdown period where people started thinking like what to do next, what I have to be in the next. Like people who are right now doing MDS, they're worried about post MDS consequences, and people who are in internship or who are already done with the BDS, they want to explore the life. They want to know what are the options. So in the last 10 days, I got so many messages, calls regarding this option, regarding that option, regarding X, Y, Z, and it's very difficult to explain each and every option on phone. Okay, on phone you cannot explain like what is this, what are the number of steps, how much does it cost, is it reliable for me, what are the options, where do you get coaching, and all these questions are like hectic for me. So I thought of like let's prepare a basic video so that people will get an idea like what they can do further. Okay, so before we go into the proceedings, I just want you guys to respond me on the chat box. So is my video clear and is my audio clear? Okay, I want a response from you. Once I'm done with that, I'll proceed with the session. Okay, yes, we have more than 100 plus people on live, and I think the voice and everything is clear because our room is made in such a way that to minimize all the things. But I want a response from your side so that I'll proceed further. And the primary reason and the primary thing why we have started this or why we have planned this particular live interaction on YouTube is because of my special batch. So there is a special batch which is going to start their preparation today. Okay, the result was out 1 week back, 5 days back, and they're about to start their preparation. They have many doubts because they're they're half away in their BDS life. Okay, their batchmates has already cleared the final year. They have started the internship 6 months back, and these special batch people were like in the middle. They don't know whether they don't know whether what they're doing basically, but blindly few people they have taken a move or taken a pledge. Okay, let's start preparation. That is the only easy accessible option, and that can be the better option. Okay, they don't have anything. So basically we started this for the special batch which is going to start their proceedings today. Okay, I think it's clear, so that I'm going to start the thing. Guys, I need a thumbs up symbol in the chat box, or at least done. At least done. I want it done. Text in the chat box from all of you so that I'll proceed. I'll start the session because it's very difficult to see the chat box when you're working with multiple number of devices in front of you talking something which is really required. Clear? Shall I start? Yes, yes, I'm getting so many messages. Yes, 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 perfect. So I'll take a move. I'll take a start. I think the voice and everything are clear, so that there is no disturbance from my multiple devices, because I have somewhere around 8 to 10 devices in front of me working on different aspects. So let's start the things. Okay. So the basic motto of today's session is to provide you what are the options that are available right now in dentistry in India. Okay, because if you see the scenarios like 2015, where I'm done with my entrance and about to get into MDS first year, the scenarios are totally different. Okay, the scenarios are totally different. And whereas in 2020, right now, after this 5 years lap, there's so many things that has changed, basically because of the number of people who come in, or basically the number of people who cleared the MDS or cleared the BDS, maybe due to the increasing the competition levels. The things or the scenarios totally changed in dentistry. We have so many modifications that are done recently in the dentistry. So keeping those things in the mind, or like you can see there are so many new modifications, new approaches. Few dentists are doing a different strategy when compared with the rest of the crowd. So I'm going to discuss those unofficial as well as official options. There are few unofficial options where few of my friends and few of my colleagues and few of my students are making better in dentistry, not as a dental doctor. Okay, they have removed the tag of doctor and they're working in a different direction, but however they are happy with their life and with their approach towards their personal goals rather than the professional goals. Okay, so taking all these into consideration, I have prepared, or else I have collected some stuff, and all this stuff or all these points, like this particular interaction is completely my point of view. Okay, if you do like this, yeah, it can be better. Or maybe like few people like who have started the preparation now, preparing for the PG, or who are about to get into MDS first year, or who are in first year MDS or second year MDS or third year MDS, few people who are already done with MDS. The strategies may vary from time to time, because now we are affected with a virus, right? COVID-19, we are affected, and post consequences of COVID-19 on dentistry can be huge, may be huge, but at least there will be 10% drop of OPD for sure for the upcoming 6 months. And you have to agree for this. You have to agree for this, because there will be definitely 10% drop in the OPD in all the clinics, in all the colleges throughout the country for the next 6 months. And you cannot decide, like, basing upon this COVID-19, the post consequences can be huge on dentistry or any professional or any business field also. Yes, of course, it's true. We need to accept this scenario. So similarly, there can be some consequences or modifications which will definitely influence your career or your profession. For example, if you are planning to go for to give the NBD exam or any DB exam, you're already done, you're done with the fees payment, you're done with all the proceedings, you're done with XYZ stuff related to this particular exam. But because of this COVID-19, all the flights were cancelled for the upcoming few days, and traveling, visa problem, there will be lots of issues, particularly when you talk about the Asian countries. People, like, if an Asian country people are planning to go to US or Canada or Australia or any other place to give the exam, there will be definitely an issue with the visa. And the time duration, what you have planned, you may plan like, okay, 6 months I'll give the part 1, and followed by 3 or 4 months I'll give the part 2. All these will be postponed. So basing upon the surroundings or basing upon the scenarios, you have to get compromised or you have to postpone your goals. And that's true. So first of all, the first thing that is required for any step in dentistry or to live a better dental life is trust on yourself. Because after talking to so many people, like thousands of people, like particularly most of them are interns and people who are done with the BDS, and even now MDS first year people and third year people, final year people are preparing for the examination. Probably within 2 or 3 months the examination will be there. The first thing I observe in most of the people is lack of trust and confidence on them. They don't have that particular confidence, like, I can do this, I can make this, I can be this. So lack of confidence is the main thing. And I feel like people who are hearing this video, to get some information from this video, first of all, you should have a great trust on yourself. Because as a doctor, there will be lots of patients coming us with lots of hope. If you yourself don't have trust, how a patient will have trust on yourself? I hope you remember that word in your community or in your oral medicine. Like, the first thing that you have to build up in the patient is trust on your treatment plan, or trust on the particular doctor, so that the treatment will be more effective, even psychologically. So trust is a word that I really trust. So what is trust? So there are some mathematical equations, or there are some studies proving that trust is based upon two important things. One is the consistency and one is the time. Okay, so these two important factors which are going to control your targets or your goals or your dreams in dentistry. You may have a dream like first day of BDS first year or first day of MDS first year. You will have some dreams in your mind that I have to be like this, I have to do like this, I want to be like this in this dental profession or something. You'll have something in your mind. So all these factors depends upon your trust, and your trust depends upon your consistency. What you are on day one should be the same what you are on the day last of your MDS or BDS. Things surrounding people, negative thoughts, there's so many things that are going to influence you and change you. That is the most common cause of failure of a person who is well, strong, and with lots of positive energy on the day one. Once they're out of the particular college with their particular MDS certificate, they don't have that. They don't have the trust. They don't have that positive energy. They don't have that consistency. So, a required thing is consistency. What your thoughts on today should be same for tomorrow, should be same after 10 days, should be same after 1 month or 1 year or 3 years. COVID-19, okay, so my thoughts are totally changed. Lockdown period, my thoughts are totally, this is what I'm clearly observing in most of my colleagues. Bro, everything is done. COVID-19 has destroyed everything. No, it's your game, it's your life. And this particular game has no lives. If you're gone with one life, yes, come on, restart the game, try again. We don't have such options in our life. It's you that you have to fight and come back, and you have to prove your consistency. So that consistency is going to affect your trust, and everything should be done in time. Everything should be done in time. Yeah, I'm planning to go for DDS. When? Now? After 5 years? After getting married? After having kids? After sending your kids to a particular school? Or you want to go and join the dental school along with your kids? So time limit is also important. I have seen many of my colleagues and my friends who has wasted so much of their time, because now I have many of the students like who are thinking of to restart the preparation. My batchmates has restarted the preparation after a lap of 6 years, where we are interns. 6 years back we were interns, and now they have restarted the preparation. Go back, find the reason why they have wasted 6 years to start the preparation, why they want MDS now. And same thing goes with most of the people. Most of us, we postpone the things. Next, well, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Okay, COVID-19. After COVID-19, when everything is eradicated, this virus has to be eradicated to do something good for you or for the dentist. So these are the few issues that I found, and the trust is important, and the trust is basically upon your consistency and the time in your profession and in your goals. So I hope your very well-known picks. Okay, so what is it? I think most of you are familiar with cricket, and we know that the recent World Cup, 2019 World Cup, we lost the semi-finals just by a margin. If Dhoni has crossed that, it would be different. And you come to final. The final is a draw match, and again in the super over is again a draw match, where the New Zealand has lost by a margin. So most of your goals, most of your dreams, aims, whatnot, everything, we lose things, valuable things, just by a margin. That margin can be a mark, that margin can be a time, that margin can be a thought. Any of these things we lose just by a margin. I can give a best example. Most of you are in the dental field. I think like most of the people, there are somewhere around 235 plus people who are watching this particular video. Most of you are dentists, right? You can take your right hand and keep on the left side of your heart. Do you really want to be a dentist when you're in 11th and 12th standard giving the entrance examination? I can openly say that 100 of 100, we are no way interested in dentistry. And second important thing, we don't know what is dentistry at 11th and 12th standard. We know just it is a dental doctor, a tag of dental doctor we know. Why we are here? Maybe we have lost the entrance just by a margin of marks, or we have lost the entrance just by a feather of score or rank or some situations or financial things has made you to join dentistry. Okay, so think over. So I don't want you to lose anything just by this margin. We need to go ahead, proceed ahead further into dentistry. And now few people, before they start the things like what after dentistry, after dentistry means you're talking about the present moves which leads to your future but not your past. Okay, most of my students, they come out, sir, I'm very bad student, I'm very bad at clinical work, I'm very bad at this, I'm very bad student, I have not done anything. Don't talk about your past. Your past is over, which cannot be modified, whether you're MDS first year or MDS second year or MDS third year, or it can be any level in the BDS or post BDS. Past, you cannot do anything. So work for your present and plan for your future. That is the only thing what I can clearly and openly says. If you can judge that you are bad, try to be good. Try to be a better version of what you are. I'm this, try to be better than that. Today I'm this, try to be better than that. So make sure that I want each and everyone work for your present and plan for your future. So immediately after my BDS final year result was out, my only thought process is to settle well, have a good lavish life, that I can make a better dentistry. Just I want to hold on, there is some issue with the voice. Yes. Okay. So to have a better life or to provide a better life to our family, okay, to our family or to the well-wishers, probably. This is what the primary goal of most of the individuals, particularly the people in India. So for that, what should I do? Like I'm done with my BDS or I'm done with my MDS. So to make a better life in dentistry or to make a better life for my family, what the next thing I have to do? I have two options, either to settle as a dentist in India or either to move to other countries where dentistry is good or where money making is a better option rather than I'm talking about good dentistry. You can, because if you want to make a good dentistry in India, you can do that. You can do a good dentistry in India too. There is no need to go to a USA or Canada or Australia or New Zealand to make a good dentistry. You can make good dentistry in India too. So I feel the better option if you're planning to go for abroad is to make a better lifestyle, and to make a better money. And do you accept for this, guys? Yeah, yes, you have to accept for this. So you have two options in front of you, whether to stay in India and work in Indian scenarios or whether to plan or move to abroad. So to consider any of these options, the foremost important thing, the two factors to be considered is time and money. Okay, how much time you are going to take to settle well in India, or how much time you're going to take to settle well in US, or how much time or money you are going to spend to earn money again. That is an important thing, right? If you keep on spending years to years to years without earning anything, that doesn't make any sense for your family. So the two important factors to be considered is time and money. Okay, how much time you're going to spend and how much money you're going to spend before you start earning is a big thing that has to be known. You have n number of options, like uh, in the BDS field, like once you're done with your BDS or once you're done with MDS, you have n number of options to work on your strategies, but every option has some pros and some cons, has some advantages and disadvantages. Like similarly to every block of dentistry, you have some advantages and disadvantages. Similarly, for everything you have some advantages and disadvantages. For example, the best example I can give, like for example, if you're planning for DDS by clearing NBD part 1 or part 2, or if you're planning to go for a Canada or an Australian examination, the disadvantages of this is you need to spend more before you start the proceedings. You need to spend more, you need to spend in lakhs. And the second disadvantage for most of these foreign things is time factor. It's going to take minimum 3 to 4 years time for you to get on track. And the third important factor to be considered for most of these are, there is no guarantee until you clear or until you get a job. But whereas the advantages of other factors are, if you're doing MDS, if you join MDS first year, for sure in 3 years you're going to clear the things and you're going to get a certificate. Okay, so money is a factor which you need to spend, time is a factor which you need to spend. If you have that patience, the patience is really required if you're planning for DDS, or if you're planning for Canada license exam, or if you're planning for Australia exam. First important thing is patience. You have to wait for longer duration of time. Second thing, you should be financially very strong to finance yourself during the processing time and further examinations, which I'll be discussing further if time permits. So if you have these two things in you with some skill, okay, it's very easy to finish those things. But if you don't have any patience, and if you're not financially strong, for example, if you take my situation into consideration, when I was an intern, we are not financially strong enough to pay for the examinations. So I don't have any such option like going for a US or going for a Canada to clear the examination. So you have to consider the positives first of all, and with a note of negative for every option, so that you can plan or pick that particular option and you can go. There is no plan B in this. People who start the preparation, or people who keep these things as a goal, don't keep any plan B. It may take 1 more year, it may take 2 more years, it may take maximum 3 to 4 more years, but make sure don't keep any plan Bs. If you keep plan B, your final option is going to be B, or if you keep C, it's going to be the C. So you have n number of options. So what are these options? And some basic information about each option I'm going to discuss. When you have options, options will be n number. It's not like your entrance exam where you have 4 or 5 options. Now you have n number of options, means multiple options. What are they? You have hell number of options. So these are the few options that I have listed, and I have collected so much information regarding many other options. So I'm going to explain all these options in my iPad. Okay, I want you guys to wait. I hope you can see my iPad, what I'm writing. Yeah, of course, I'm going to clear your doubts once I'm done with my session in the chat box. You can drop your doubts in the comment box, so that I'm going to explain you or give you information about each option that is available right now. I hope my writing pad is very clear, so that I can explain the options and some important things related to each and every option. And I want your response, so that if the pad is, if you are able to see my writing pad clear, so that I can proceed further. If you have any issue, please do drop me in the chat box, so that I can have a look and I'll try to rectify that, correct that. Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you so much, guys. So what my primary goal is to, I'm just going to give a brief idea of n number of few ethical options are there, few unethical options are there, few prophylactic options are there, non-prophylactic options are there. There are options people will call you as a doctor. There are options you will never call as doctor anymore. Your certificates will be there, but you will not called as a doctor anymore. So you have n number of options, out of which the first option is clinical practice. The first option is clinical practice after BDS. Because if you go back and if you see the best clinic or the most experienced clinic in your particular village or town or city or state is run by BDS people long back. The scenario is long back scenario. Even few people are trying now. Immediately once they're done with the BDS, they're opening a clinic. It's not a bad option, but make sure your clinic should be in a village. Okay, your clinic should be in a village. It is acceptable, because if you don't have any competition and if you don't have any practitioners working over that particular area, you can think of an opening a clinic immediately after your BDS or after having a 1 year experience period in your village. But you cannot practice the same scenario. You cannot practice the same scenario in your cities. Cities, BDS people are not accepted, because now the people are getting educated. They don't know what the BDS people do or what the MDS people do, but their basic idea is MDS people will have more experience, so I want to get treated by MDS people. This is what a common scenario that I have seen when I was working as a BDS staff or a BDS clinician in one of the corporate sector. They want a MDS to treat them, and this is what I commonly hear from many of my friends too. So opening a clinic immediately after BDS, yes, it's the most common thing that people used to practice 10 to 5 years back. Minimum 10 years back, this is acceptable. But now it is no more accepted. They require a minimum MDS person to open a clinic. And you have to accept this scenario, because if you are a patient, if you have two options like getting treated by a BDS person, getting treated by an MDS person, you will definitely opt, yeah, I want to get treated by MDS person because they will have more clinical experience. So this is the first option that available right now in the market. And most of the people always say, don't go for the options where the competition is heavy. My suggestion is go for an option where the competition is less. So this is the most commonly followed option. The second option is finding an academic job that can be immediately after BDS or that can be immediately after MDS. Now, I feel according to the present scenario right now in 2020, you don't have much academic options even if you are from MDS department. There are few clinical departments which has these options, but regularly these options are very, very narrow right now in the market. Like when I was a BDS student, we used to have so many BDS staff in our particular college, but now when I'm doing my MDS 3 years back, we don't have much BDS staff available in the colleges. So academic option is of very less importance. So the third option that nowadays people are showing some more fantasy is MHA. Okay, MHA or MBA, that can be done. This is a master's that can be done in hospital administration, or it can be done in healthcare management. And now apart from public health dentistry, you have something called as MBA in public health. You have leadership in healthcare. You have few more such courses, like even a clinical nutrition course is also available for the dental students. All these are the recent trends. Recent trends means they are available from past 5 years, but the number of seats and the number of colleges who are providing this particular course has increased. 5 years back, we used to have very few colleges or very few areas where you have this particular master courses, but now most of the states, most of the universities, they have started this master courses. But the demand for these courses is time factor, because the courses has demand right now. Okay, maybe after COVID-19 there'll be so many moves that will be taken in the healthcare management. So I feel like, to my strategy, these courses may have demand because of the consequences that are created because of this particular virus. People will take so much importance, people will give so much importance to the healthcare. Probably after this is going to be the one of the good consequence for healthcare management, and this is going to have some sort of good aspect on this particular course for the dental students, but it's a time factor. And the best example I can give is I have seen few of my professors who has done this course after their MDS. So once they are done with MDS, after the MDS, I have seen few of my professors doing this MBA. I have very less knowledge regarding this MBA when I was a BDS student, but now I got to know what their ideology is. MDS plus this MBA is going to give some more weightage for you in the college. For the academics, apart from the academics, you can become the dean of the clinical scenario in the colleges. You'll have an extra pay for this particular MBA. Apart from the extra pay, you will get some extra weight as an extra post in the particular college or in any particular healthcare scenario. For example, if you're working in a corporate sector family, there are high chances that this MDS plus MBA is going to give you some more pay per month and some more weightage in that particular clinical scenario. If there is a competition for a particular big post in your, just hold on, there is some disconnection. Okay, so if you have any sort of particular post, high-end post, and there is a tough competition between the two people, definitely this MDS plus MBA person will have an extra weightage to get that particular post. So you think over, you just have a word, like if you have any of your seniors or any of your friends who are already done with this particular course, then you can think over, understand options available, then you can take a move. So the next option that I can talk about is research. Research is a very trendy word. When I was an intern, we used to have many research-based programs or research-based courses, okay, for the BDS students. But these research-based courses and the programs were now more demanded post MDS, or they're more for an MDS student rather than for a BDS student, because these posts or these requirements were already filled by most of the people. So there is a competition again. So in this competition, MDS people who has a research background are picked rather than the BDS people. So that this issue comes everywhere. So that's what about the research. The next option that you have is the competitive exams. My batchmates, like around 15 people out of 100 have thought of giving these examinations. That can be your UPSC exams, that can be your civils exams, that can be your any sort of competitive exams or bank exams. Any people who are like completely fed up with the dentistry, and if they decided to quit the dentistry, so competitive exams were not a bad option. But it's all like wait and watch. You have to give exam, clear the interview, then get into a particular job. So competitive exams can be an option, but if you become for example, I have two of my batchmates who are right now working in banks. Okay, who are working in bank. One is the bank manager and one is a clerk, and few people they're working in different areas in accounts and everything. But very rarely they are called as doctors. So if you really want to leave or quit that word dental doctor or a doctor, or if you want to leave complete dentistry, then you can think of these bank exams. But make a note, these competitive exams were not in your hand, so you need to keep options like A, B, C and D. So if A doesn't work, then you need to go for a B, then you need to go for the next option, C or D or any other thing. Then the most important thing that sounds very good and give a good pleasant feeling is, yes, you always feel happy when you see GOVT, that is government jobs or working in government services. So this sounds very good. When I sound anything related to government, yes, I'm very, very happy. But this is completely wait and watch. I have many of my students who has cleared the government sectors, maybe a 3 years contract based jobs, which can be converted into permanent in a different ways, or any other thing. Like I have my seniors, my batchmates, few of my batchmates who has cleared these government jobs and they have entered this government scenario. But what the main issue is, it is a multi-level process. It's a multi-level process where you need to work in different scenarios. Apart from your skills and clearing the examination, there are many other things that you need to work, and you need to wait for the vacancies. So the main important thing is the government job vacancies should be available. An intern who is done with the internship can come out and say, I want government job. No, it's not possible. There should be a vacancy. So there should be a notification that should come out, and they may keep some exam. Followed by exam, they are going to select few people, and in that few people, they are going to give an interview. They're going to keep an interview, and they're going to select one or two, because the number of vacancies also will be less than 5 in most of the situations. So for these 5, I have seen more than 500 to 1000 people are competing, and you have to stand best among the competition list, not only psychologically or academically, but in all the ways. So India is a country where things will go in, because a job will depends upon different factors, and you should be ready to handle all such situations. So planning for a government job can be an option, but cannot be your goal or cannot be your dream. It may or may not be. So if there is no vacancies for the next 3 or 4 years, you cannot wait. Like, I want a government job for the 5 years, you cannot wait. So it can be, you can keep this as an option, but not as a permanent one. So the next important thing that most of the people are dreaming of, okay, is to work in countries like USA, to work in countries like UK, to work in countries like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and recently most number of people are shifting to Gulf countries. So there are many hell number of options that are available for us. Australia, US, UK, and the steps for these things are different at different level. And for few things, like for example, for USA, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, you have to spend so much of your money and so much of your time before you start the proceedings itself. Okay, so now I'm just going to give a rough idea of two, because my time is not sufficient. I'll talk few things about USA, I'll talk few things about Canada right now. Just going to give a brief idea. Okay, so if you're planning to go for USA, there are many options. There are many options, but the first important thing that you need to talk about is COVID-19. The post consequences of this COVID-19. I don't know anything about the USA government that's going to take a move, but definitely, probably, maybe after 6 months or 1 year, they're going to allow us back, because of us, they're making n number of admissions. Because of us, the dental schools are getting filled, and because the money what we pay to those particular schools or as a fees, because it's too expensive, that they want to make that educational revenue strong, so they will allow, but may not allow for the upcoming 6 months or 1 year. That's the first thing that we need to consider about. So what are the first step? The first step for USA is, if you're planning to clear or do DDS, okay, the first step that you have to do is, there will be some documentation process, some document verification process will be there, by which you can apply for NBDE Part 1. So once you're done with NBDE Part 1, a preparation of 3 to 4 months is more than sufficient, even for an average Indian student with a basic knowledge to clear this particular exam. This exam is just pass or fail exam. Just pass or fail. They don't consider your percentages or score. The scores and percentages will not be out. So pass or fail is the only criteria. Then after, you can take 3 months or maximum 4 months time to clear NBDE part 2. Right now, this is the scenario that is happening, but this NBDE people has a plan to convert this NBDE part 1, part 2 into INBDE. That is called as integrated NBDE. They're going to start this integrated NBDE from August first week of 2020, probably within 2 to 3 months. This NBDE, INBDE is going to start. There is no need of going 2 times and giving exam part 1, part 2. One time you can give one single exam, that is NBDE exam. Until now, we don't have a clear-cut idea about the model paper or how the approach or anything related to this particular examination, but maybe it may take few more days for them to update. So once you're done with NBDE part 1 and part 2, okay, or INBDE probably after August, you have to create your profile. Profile means what you are. Why I have to give you a particular seat of DDS in this particular college. Why? What is the reason, or why I have to give a particular seat? You have to show them. Profile. What is your profile? Yes, in BDS, I got few national awards. I am the university topper. I am good at this. I am well at this. I have attended few international conferences or national conferences. I got awards, rewards. If you have any publications, this is more important if you are planning to go for USA after completing your MDS, because MDS is a very good time where you can increase your number of publications. So if an MDS first year student is targeting to go for DDS or to do DDS probably after 3 or 4 years, or getting married to a US citizen or a person who is working in US, so then in the MDS first year, if you plan properly, it is very easy to make minimum 10 to 15 publications, which will definitely make your profile very, very strong. So if you have a strong profile, there are high chances that you will get DDS seat. So with your profile, you have to attend a bench test. So bench test is nothing but a clinical exam with an interview. The clinical exam, maybe they can ask you to cut a proper crown under magnification with the loops, with exact dimensions, rules, regulations, not like our clinical scenario. And you will have a class 2 conservative cavity preparation under magnification and loops, and you will have an interview, and sounding your profile and publications and everything, you have to prove that I am a best candidate to get into this. Now, what is the present scenario for this? For a normal BDS student is, the probability of picking a BDS student is less 5 years back. Now it become very, 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 very less in the present scenario. I have seen many of my students who are cleared part 1 and part 2 and waiting for the admission. If you have a good background, like getting married to a US citizen already, it's very easy for you to get a green card. So if you have a green card, there are high chances that you may get a seat. Or if you have a good background or good support or like good recommendation people in already dental colleges who are settled, maybe your relatives or maybe a known people, such extra things can help you to improve your profile, because there are few people who work on these profiles only. Letters, profiles, what you submit, they are very, very important. The language or the methodology in which you prepare those letters and in which you convey that I have done this. You can simply convey that I have done 500 cases. The best example to project more in a better way, yes, I have done 500 cases in a particular department where we have helped the people who are having low financial background, motivating them, managing them, explaining them the consequences of post-treatment, giving some instructions and everything. This is what explaining the simple thing in most sweetest way, so that there are high chances that you can be picked. So such things are going to play a role, and all this process will take, because DDS can be of 3 years, the waiting period can be 1 year, because after the admission it's going to take minimum 6 months for you to get an admission. Part 1, Part 2 exams may take 6 months to 12 months. Your bench test may take minimum 6 months. Waiting period will be minimum 6 months. Your course will be 3 years. So it's going to be 1 year, 1 year, 3 years. So it's going to roughly take minimum 5 years. So for this, you require patience. And in this particular duration of time, you require financial support from your family. Apart from paying the fees for the college, which can be by a green card holder or by taking a loan from the bank in a particular thing, because you require a green card holder again to get a loan, and you require proper documentation and everything. Okay, you require proper documentation and everything, and it's going to roughly cost 1 crore to 2 crores. It's based upon the college you pick. It's going to cost 1 crore to 2 crore as a college fees. And after 5 years, once you're done with the DDS, you can get back to the job, and you have to clear this loan, EMIs, and you have to maintain your dental profession. So these are all post consequence things that you have to take into consideration. So I'm just going to give a rough idea of Canada based examination. So your DDS is not valid in Canada. Okay, so and the exam that you need to clear is, you need to get through NDEB. So don't get confused with NBDA. NBDA is a US based thing, whereas NDEB is a National Dental Examination Board of Canada. You need to get certificate from this to work as a clinician in Canada. So for that, the first step is you have to go through few things called as equivalency processings. Nothing but making your BDS certificates equal to their level. So how you can do this is, you have to clear few exams. You have to clear 3 exams. Okay, so the 3 exams, one is called as AFK, that is called as assessment of your fundamental basics. The second one is called as ACJ, that is called as assessment of clinical judgment, and the third one is called as ACS, assessment of your clinical skills. So these are the 3 exams that you have to clear for an equivalency to occur. So this exam occurs 2 times in a year. This exam occurs 2 times in a year. This exam occurs 2 times in a year. Means for every 6 months you will have an exam. If you fail, you have to give the exam after 6 months. So if you want to take this exam, the minimum amount that you have to spend is somewhere around $800. 800 Canada dollars you need to spend for this. And before starting the proceedings, you need to spend minimum $1,000 for the processing to start. Okay, so pardon, there is discontinuing. Oh. Yes, so before you start the proceedings for this exam, before the process of documentation, you need to spend $1,000, 1,000 Canada dollars. It's roughly around like 50 or 55, somewhere around 50,000 you need to spend before you start the proceedings. So once you're done with the proceedings, then you have to clear these 3 exams. One is AFK, ACJ, and ACS. And this exam takes 2 times in a year. So you need to spend somewhere around $800 for the first exam, and somewhere around $1,350 for the second exam, and somewhere around $9,000 for the third exam. So the first exam, apart from the processing fees of 50,000, the first exam is going to cost somewhere around 40,000. The second exam, once you're done, it's going to cost somewhere around 70,000. The third exam is going to cost somewhere around 5 lakhs. So if you fail in this exam, again you have to pay this 5 lakhs and again you have to give this exam. If you fail in this second exam, again you have to pay this $1,350 and you have to give this exam. If you fail here, so this is what the sequence, and you have to wait for minimum 6 months to clear. For example, if you are planning for Canada to clear these examinations. So once you are done with this ACS, that is assessment of the clinical exam, then the next process what you need to do is NDEB certification has to be done. So in this NDEB certification, again you have two exams. One is written exam and the second one is OSCE exam. The written exam followed by a simple words, the clinical exam. So the processing fees is somewhere around $450, somewhere around in Indian currency it will be 2,500. For this written exam you need to spend $1,000, that is 50,000, and for the next exam you need to spend $1,000, that is around 50,000. So once you are done and clear these examinations, then you will get permit to work as a dentist. The simple logic is so the processing will take 6 months. If you clear the first exam in the first attempt, it will take 6 months. Second exam, 6 months. Third exam, 6 months. Followed by, this is going to take a minimum of 6 months to 1 year. So you need to spend minimum of 2.5 to 3 years. Minimum is 2.5 to 3 years if you clear everything in the first attempt. And apart from this, you need to spend so much of money apart from your traveling expenses or stay expenses. For example, roughly I'm going to calculate 50,000 for the processing to start, 40,000 for the first exam, so it is 1 lakh, 70,000 for second exam, 1.7, 5 lakhs for this exam, so 7 lakhs, 7 lakhs 25,000. So these two are going to cost again 1 more lakh. Okay, so it's somewhere around 8 lakhs without any traveling expenses. For example, if you're traveling to and fro, traveling ticket fare for Canada is somewhere around 80,000 to 1 lakh, and you need to travel minimum 2 to 3 times to clear all these exams if you're not planning to stay over there. For example, if you're planning to stay over there for a duration of 2 to 3 years, you need to find a way. So all these expenses together may hit somewhere around, I mean, you calculate, minimum it is 8 lakhs for only the exams, and it may hit somewhere around more than 10 to 15 lakhs, including all the traveling expenses, your stay and X, Y, Z, everything. So this is a rough idea of your Canada. Okay, so it's getting too late. So my main presentation is just sticking to this two important things. So I'll get back to my presentation. So the leftover options, the next leftover options that I have listed are, I mean, this is all based upon my personal experience and the situations what I'm seeing, talking with people, interacting with people. So there is something called as Army Corps. Okay, so this Army Corps, every year they are picking somewhere around 40 to 60 people every year. So you will have 40 to 60 recruitments, and the pay is decent and the allowances are decent. You will be considered as Army dental doctor or Army officer, which is again a prestigious thing in India. So the steps for this particular thing is, the first thing for this is whether you have to be either a BDS or an MDS student. The second requirement is you have to clear NEET exam, which will be in December month, and you need to get a decent rank. You can ask me what is a decent rank. The decent rank somewhere, please keep All India 1500 as a cutoff for this. So once you clear this NEET exam, you need to apply for this. So basing upon your All India rank, they're going to give a merit list of somewhere around 250. They're going to select. So your NEET rank is your part 1. So they're going to select 250 students, and all these 250 students has to go for interview. So basing upon the interview, they are going to pick the top 60 and they're going to give the job. The pay scale will be somewhere around 75,000 per month plus, and I mean I'm not very sure about this. I think it's around that, and you will have a free quarters, stay, everything, all the allowances that the army people they get. Okay, so this is about army corps, and of course you have many jobs apart from the regular dental army corps. You have many dental officer jobs in your Indian Navy, Indian or Air Force, of course in the army whenever it is required, in the railway also. But the number of posts that are open for this type of jobs like Indian Navy, Army Forces, railways, and XYZ will be very, very less. Okay, maximum 2 to 3 or 3 to 4, and they goes very fast. Okay, so I mean notifications and everything may not I mean, like, before you get the notification, by the time the notification travels to you, everything, the exam and everything may be probably done. Okay, so think over about this other sector based jobs. And nowadays I can see many people working for a few companies. For example, you have many dental products that are available. You have many dental products that are available. So I have seen few of my students who are very talkative, and who are very, I mean, like, very involved in marketing, okay, probably called as dental marketing. Okay, so dental marketing should be basically done by MBA people who work in that particular or who study. But now even most of the dental products people, they love to pick dental students or people who are done with BDS and MDS as a marketing person, so that they can explain the crowd or they can explain the dentist in a dental language. Because if you take an MBA person, he cannot explain the things in a dental language. So I have seen many of my friends, few of my colleagues who are working with the dental companies, to explain the dental products in the marketing scenario. So I feel like marketing is not a bad option, but that's a difference. That's an it's not a prophylactic look as a dentist. Okay, it is something like unprophylactic. I don't want to add unprophylactic, but basically most of you may not accept this marketing way of. I mean, few people, they're working on social media marketing to promote their clinics or to promote their products, to promote their teaching activities. For example, if you take our team MDS Conquer, of course, as we are running an online test series, we need to promote, or we need to do some marketing, and we need to come out with some marketing strategies in social media. So social media marketing courses are also not bad courses, but you should know how to make it a fruitful thing at the end of the day. Whether if you are in the teaching field, whether if you are in the prophylactic field, or whether you have a clinic of your own, whether you have a web series or a web channel of your own. So it's all that you can use this social media marketing, because as a dental students or as a dentist, we don't know the marketing strategies. That's what I feel like when I'm talking with most of my colleagues. I feel like they don't know marketing strategies. They don't know how the apps work. They don't know how to upload the things. They don't know how to do many other things. There are many other levels of things in marketing in the social media, which are very important in influencing the crowd. Probably the crowd in the cities are more they have some good or more fantasy towards the marketing. You can see the Zomato, you can see the Swiggy, Ola, Uber. So all these are like daily requirements of the most of the people who are living in cities. And most of these, your Facebook and Instagram, your YouTube. Right now we are interacting in the YouTube. Okay, so all these are most of the things which work on marketing strategies, and I feel like marketing is mandatory to stand in this heavy crowd in dentistry. So there's nothing wrong that you work or you improve your marketing skills by any way, whether join a small online courses or an offline courses, or it can be watching some YouTube channel and working. But like apart from working on the dentistry on the clinical scenarios, your skills may increase up to 90 or maximum 90%. The 10% is how the crowd is react to your situation or to your product or to you. That is all about marketing. So I feel like you need to do some sort of things in marketing. So and the similar thing, leadership in healthcare management MBA course is also there. It's similarly like controlling all the healthcare sectors. You're going to be the head and controlling all the healthcare sectors, but you should have that inbuilt quality. With a few people, like something like a bookworm, a university topper, don't talk much with the people, don't interact much with the people. They can be more of an academic side rather than marketing. So there are few people who organize the things in the college, like yes, college day is there. Okay, this is the person who organizes the things. They participate in the college elections. They participate, take the lead, captain of the team, organize the trips, tours, some events. And such people are more talkative and interactive. And I feel like these things, I mean, this sort of tags can be uh, very suitable for such people. So I mean, so these are the rough things right now we have. And the last but not the least is entrepreneurship. Okay, so most of us, if I ask a dental student once they're done with MDS or once they're done with the BDS, what you want to be? If I ask, I want to have a good job. So who is going to give a good job? Someone is going to do a good job. So no one says, I want to give a good jobs to the dentist. I want to make a better dentistry. I want to take the lead. So most of you want to work under someone. You want to make money under someone, under the name of someone. So most of the students or ideology in most of the people is like, I want to work, I want to make a good family, I want to make a good professional life as well as a personal life. But most of them, I have seen very few people, yes, my target is to make a better dentistry. My target is to give jobs rather than working under someone. Giving a job is what the entrepreneurs do. So I think that's not a bad option. Okay, so but you should have that inbuilt quality, and you should question yourself that, am I eligible for this? If you're eligible, if you have that eligibility, you need to come out with some innovation, some strategies, some skills, and great hard work, core work. It may take years. For example, if I can give MDS Conquer as a basic example. So MDS Conquer, we have started MDS Conquer when I was an intern. Like probably my internship has started 7 years back, and we have taken around 2 years to have a proper core work, coming out with the strategies and everything. Then after we have started this, now this is the sixth years of hard work. I have learned everything related to marketing. I have learned everything related to social media. I have learned everything related to the softwares, live interactions. This is based upon a software. How to do marketing, how to talk with people, how to teach, how to impress. So there are many things that we need to work. So if you want to be a lead or if you want to be an entrepreneur, it's not a bad option, but you need to work so hard, have to sacrifice so many things, have to keep some priorities, work on them, learn some new things. Because you can say like, I'm a dental entrepreneur, I know only to do root canal treatment. People will not accept you. You need to talk, you need to express your feelings, you need to share your ideas. Then only people will talk with you, then only people will follow you, then only people will make you as a successful. Because entrepreneurs are not called as successful until they make others success. Until if you see people are getting successful, then the lead of the college or the lead of the entire team can be called as successful. They can give a tag of success. So these are all multiple options you have. I'm just going to list out all the options. MDS, you have one option. You can open a clinic with your BDS or with your MDS. Academics, you have MHA, MBA, entrepreneurship, consultancy, most commonly followed by most of my colleagues and friends. You have some clinical based programs. You have some diploma clinical based programs. But few people, they accept it, they go it. But what I feel is I don't support the clinical diploma based programs because they don't have any academic importance. Like once you're done with MDS, after that, if you plan some clinical diploma based programs, that can definitely improve your clinical skills and can definitely improve your options in the clinical scenario or the job options. But it's all your wish. What I'm sharing is my point of view. I'm not much interested in this fellowship based programs. I mean, fellowship after MDS is acceptable. There are few certificate based fellowship programs after BDS which has no weightage. For example, if I'm opening a big clinic, if I'm opening a very, very big clinic, and if I have a BDS person who has decent experience with a, with a fellowship based program, I don't entertain such people. Fellowship based program can be a 2 months or a 3 months program where they learn how to do or some basics related to that. But learning deep concepts and learning some on, I mean, like I feel like it's always required, an academic background skill is always required with some clinical experience that is more practiced in masters. Okay, so fellowships or diploma courses after BDS, I'm not completely favoring those category of or group of people, but I'll be more favored to the people who do a fellowship courses or any other diploma courses once they are done with MDS, because that's going to increase their clinical skills and the power of holding your armamentarium, that is more important in the clinical situation. So research based programs which are of less importance in India, the competitive exams, you have government service jobs, government service sectors, working as a dentist in USA, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, even Gulf countries. Gulf countries, make a note, add a note, long back, like 5 or 8 years back, we used to have so many BDS people shifting to Gulf countries, but now the scenario has totally changed. Okay, so now recently, it's very happy to say that few of my friends, okay, like more than 5 to 6 of my friends has moved to Gulf countries. Okay, the minimum payment, I'm just going to give a rough idea, is 2 to 3 lakhs per month. MDS is mandatory, and a minimum 2 to 3 years clinical experience after MDS. So after MDS, if you have a minimum 2 to 3 clinical years experience, you can earn 2 lakhs per month, 2 lakhs per month, and particularly the demand is more for ortho people. You will definitely earn more than 3 lakhs per month. Okay, so processing and everything is very easy. Exam clearance is very, very easy. But only thing is you need to complete your MDS and have 2 to 3 years of experience. Most of my friends have recently shifted. 5 or 6 of my friends has recently shifted to few of the Gulf countries, Dubai, Gulf, and Qatar, and they're working there. It's not at all a bad option. If you're not financially strong to open a clinic, you can work 5 or 6 years over there, make some money. If you want to continue, you can continue there with some restrictions over there, or if you can come back to India and you can plan your own clinic with your savings and many other things. Okay, so these are the options. So apart from these options, MDS, if you're not financially sound or if you want to have a financial backup, MDS in government college is not a bad option. If you are done with BDS and if you have a good basic knowledge, dentistry, minimum an average student in dentistry, and if you are ready to work hard work is primary requirement, and with some commitment, if you can fetch government seat GDC in MDS, then I feel it's not a bad option because you're getting a minimum stipend of 50K per month, which is going to convert to somewhere around 6 lakhs per annum. 6 into 3 is somewhere around 18 lakhs per 3 years. I think it's more than sufficient to maintain yourself and keep some savings for your future plans. So the only logic is when you have money, your brain will, when you have money and when you have time, the brain will work in a perfect way and come out with some innovation, and some one innovation is going to change everything completely. So I'm done with the options. uh, Followed by, I'm just going to extend my PPT. Okay, I'm going to finish the session within 10 minutes. So these are the options. I've given few things of the core work what I have done, but if you have any further doubts, you can just drop me. So whenever I have time, I can work on. There is someone who's asking about PhD after MDS. It's completely your decision. There are few people, very few people. Excuse me, very few people I have seen doing the PhD work, because the biggest issue in India is once you're done with MDS or ongoing with the process of MDS or post MDS, most of us feel the professional settlement is more important, but what our family feels is personal settlement is more important. Means they'll force you to get married even if you're not interested. They'll force you to get married. So once you get married, you'll have so many responsibilities. So these responsibilities will not allow most of the people to explore dentistry further. Exploring dentistry further in academic point of view is doing PhD, because if a job option is open, you have only MDS and you have MDS per PhD. Definitely MDS plus PhD people will definitely have a better skills or knowledge or better teaching abilities or everything. You will be picked. So doing PhD in India is your wish. Okay, is completely our wish. Okay, but the scenarios will change, because I have seen one or two of my colleagues who has quitted PhD in the middle because they are not able to handle the family and everything, because these are like steps which you have to think after completing your. So once you're done with MDS, you can think over this. Okay, so the first important thing, like most of the people, they get depressed because they compare their UG life and they think that okay, post BDS consequences or post BDS, that is MDS, will also be in the similar scenario. So don't always compare your UG college. Your UG college may be good or bad, or your PG college can be the best. So there are many good colleges in India who has the best facilities. So you have to think over in such a way and decide whether you want to get updated to a better college or be at the same level. So most of the people, they feel dentistry is bad because of the scenarios in the college. It's not about the scenarios of dentistry outside, because you don't know what is happening in dentistry. For example, if you are from Telangana or Andhra, or if you are from Karnataka, you don't know what is happening in Bangalore. You don't know what is happening in the clinical sector in a particular corporate sector in a Bangalore, or you don't know what is happening exactly in a clinical sector in a Hyderabad, because you're not being exposed to that scenario. Whatever you feel as an intern, as a final year, or as to a level of a UC is just whatever you have seen. Whatever you have seen in your college is your level. So think in the next level. So if you want to have a better life, you always need to go to the next level. So I feel like most of you, including me, I have a very bad opinion when I was in the final year or an intern towards the dentistry. But when I'm being exposed to the n number of crowds, the conferences, national and international, meeting so many people, seeing so many clinics, and observing so many people, so many entrepreneurs, and so many high-end people who has a good prophylactic view of dentistry, I feel like my norm in the college is very bad. We don't know what is happening around the world. So see what is happening around the world, at least what is happening around your city, so that decide whether dentistry is good or bad. So most of the UG people, they think that dentistry is what is happening in their respective colleges. They see dentistry in their senior, who may or may not have a good prophylactic look. So please do think over. The next one is, there is slight difference between the outdated exams and the present exams. For example, if you take the NEET came into existence in the last 4 years. Previously, we used to have our state entrances, MHCET, KCET, KSET for Karnataka people, MHCET for Maharashtra people, APPG for Andhra people. Similarly, we used to have a state entrance for every exam, and still few of you, not few of you, most of you are dedicatedly preparing for state entrances, which is nowhere related to the NEET. So what are the advantages of NEET? The first advantage of NEET is the number of seats has increased. You can ask me how many? Okay. Previously you are only eligible to your state, or you are eligible to all India followed by your eligible to state, eligible to seat. But roughly if you calculate the number of state GDCs throughout the country, all India 50% quota throughout the country, AIIMS 2 sessions throughout the country, and PGI, JIPMER, whatnot, everything, all government based seats, MDS seats per year in India. All these government based seats are free seats which are going to give a stipend of minimum 40 to 50,000. There are somewhere around 550 seats including NEET, AIIMS, PGI, JIPMER, both in all India pool as well as state pool. More than 550 seats. Okay, so 550 seats is a bit huge, right? So every year 550 people has a chance of doing MDS through the government scenario, having a good OP and a decent stipend at the end of the month. And second thing, stipends has been decent. They are getting increased year by year, and it's a very good sign for a dentist. Okay, I'm very selfish. I'm talking in my dentist point of view. So as a dentist, we are a dentist. So stipends has been increased when you compare with the last 3 to 4 years. The stipends has, few colleges stipend has doubled, and few colleges they have a minimum of increase of 20-30% is there. That sounds very good. Okay, so these are the two basic advantages of NEET when compared with your old state-based entrances. Do you know how many dental college seats are there in India? So somewhere around 500 seats are there, which includes all India pool and state pool, and 50 seats are there, which are 2 sessions of AIIMS and 1 session of PGI and 1 session of JIPMER. And what is the best cutoff to get all India? You need to maintain a rank of minimum 350 or maximum up to 360 or 70 or up to 400, where you will get, this is all India rank. I'm talking about all India 400 rank. 350 to 400 rank is a cutoff for last year. So you can ask me the best cutoff to get into army merit list. I was talking about army corps. Every year they're taking 45 to 50 and they're going to provide you a dental army corps job, and the cutoff will be around like 1500. So these are the things that you have to consider. Okay, one is these are the pattern of exams that you will take. So first one is your November AIIMS you're going to take. That's going to be your first exam, will be in November session, followed by you have one more exam in that is December PGI, but it is not for MDS, it is for junior residentship. And traveling in December to Chandigarh and giving an exam, coming back and taking your NEET, it's going to hurt your revision. So I just want to quit that. I just want to remove that PGI December 2020 exam. So the next exam is going to be your target exam, that is NEET December 2020. So the first exam that you're going to take is AIIMS November 2020 followed by PGI December 2020. And people who are planning to be Army Corps, whether you're MDS or BDS, it is mandatory that you have to take your exam, that is December NEET 2020. So I'm just going to give a brief idea that recently AIIMS, 6 months back that AIIMS has changed their pattern of exam. Previously we used to have a different pattern. So don't Google it. Don't Google for your AIIMS blueprint or AIIMS MDS exam, because these things are recently changed in the last 6 months. The number of seats per each session will be 10 in Delhi AIIMS and will be 5 plus 5 in other AIIMS like Bhopal, Rishikesh and everything. Totally it will be 15. And the number of questions will be 200. The time duration will be 3 hours, and you'll have minus 1/3 negative marking. Means for every right answer you will get plus 1 mark, and every wrong answer you will get minus 1/3. So each question is going to carry 1 minute. So the regular questions, means a question with 4 options will be the regular questions you'll have somewhere around 175, and rest all are other questions. I hope you remember assertion reason based questions in your 11th and 12th standard. So you'll have such questions in AIMS. You'll have arrange the following things in ascending order, descending order. You'll have diagram based questions and everything. So the blueprint of AIMS is not out. They don't give a blueprint, but they follow a balanced paper covering all the subjects. The next one is NEET blueprint. All the GDCs, private college seats, army corps, deemed university seats, whatever, everything are included in the NEET. So NEET is going to be for 240 marks, and the time duration is 180 minutes. The negative marking will be -1/4, means for every right answer you'll get +4 score. For every wrong answer you'll get -1 mark. So coming to the diagram based questions, in the recent times we have around 40 diagram based questions. Sorry. So it is mandatory that you have to learn everything related to diagrams. These are the books that we as a team suggest for most of the aspirants to follow. And this is the rough blueprint of NEET that is given by NBE people. We don't have any proper blueprint for AIMS and PGI, but we have a clear-cut blueprint for NEET. So I'm done with the session. If you have any doubts, please do drop me in the chat box so that I can help you out. So these are the things that what we have achieved in the last few years, and I really thank all my students who are supporting me in all the ways, and we in the few years has transformed into a big family of MDS Conquer, converting the lives of students. And the ultimate goal of MDS Conquer is to make dentistry better. So if dentistry is better, as we are dentists, we are going to be better. So if you feel like you need, or an Indian dentist should have a better prophylactic look in the market of India, or as a doctors to have a better prophylactic look for a dentist, we have to make dentistry better. So that is, and I feel like most of my students who are ongoing with MDS or who are done with MDS, when we come, interact and talk about their future plans, they feel very bad about the prophylactic look of a dentist. I feel like most of you who are watching this video are dentists, so I'm talking it in an open manner. So the prophylactic view of a dentist is bad. We have to accept this. So how it can be improved is, the dentistry should be improved. How you can improve dentistry is, it's we have to make it possible. The few people who are guiding us in a wrong way, or by ourselves we are guiding in a wrong way. So finally the output of dentistry is bad at the day. I can give a best example. There is one of my junior who has started a clinic, invested somewhere around 35 to 40 lakhs in Hyderabad, taking loan from the bank. So he has taken loan from the bank and he's invested. Every month he has to pay a EMI of 1 lakh. He has to pay an EMI of 1 lakh every year. He has invested 40 lakhs. And his main target is to not to make a good dentistry, not to make a better dentistry. His main target for that particular month is to clear the EMI. In the process of clearing the EMI, unknowingly, most of us, for example, my friend, sometimes he may go for some unethical practice. So such things has to be considered always. Like when you're planning to open a clinic or when you're planning to serve a patient, your primary goal is to serve a patient. But most of us, the scenarios or the dentistry field is in such a way turning worse day by day, and the reason why it is turning worse day by day is because our priorities changes as we grow. Because if I ask a BDS, a student or an intern, to talk about their goals in dentistry, they talk all superhero things. What superhero says? I want to save the people. I want to save the nation. I want to save the dentistry. I want to do this. I want to serve free. I want to do that. I want to do this. So these are all the statements which are given by superheroes. Your Spider-Man, Superman, all these people, they give these things. But when you come to the same scenario, once you're done with your MDS, if I ask the same person, because I have done this, because I have bulk number of students, I have done this. If I ask the same student after a duration of 3 years or 4 years, I want to make a better family. I want to take care of my family. I want to have a nice life. I want to have a nice professional life, personal life. So this is what the difference is. Your attitude when you're at the initial phase, your attitude when you're at the end phase. So always my suggestion for the people who are hearing this particular video is, guys, remember, your dreams should be your dreams forever. You should not do any modification in your dreams. Modification in your dreams is just compromising in your dreams. So whatever priorities you have as a BDS student, keep the same priorities even after completing an MDS, or even after getting settled, or even after opening the clinic. And always maintain that positivity in you. If you have some information, please try to share and help others. If you don't know, try to follow the people who have some basic experience or some basic information. Collect the information. You do some reference work, whether this information is true, good or bad. If it is good, take it. If it is bad, leave it. And always maintain that positivity which is more required for you right now in the field of dentistry, or simply to fight against COVID-19. If you are planning to fight against COVID-19, do you have an armamentarium to prepare a vaccination? No. What you can do? You should maintain that positivity. You should maintain that calmness. You should maintain that few precautions or the instructions that are given by the people who are experienced or people who are working on this. So this is what maximum we can do to fight against COVID-19. And that's what I'm telling. You need that positivity to understand the scenario in dentistry. So whatever it may be, finally, it's all, we are dentists. We have to love dentistry, and we as a team has to work to make a better dentistry. Love you all. Signing off, Dr. Srikanth from Team MDS Conquer. If you feel this video is useful, just hit a like. And if you have any doubts, you can just use the comment box. I'll try my best to help you out in providing some links, some information related to that. Okay, and if you have any suggestions from your side, because the people who are watching this particular video can have more information than what I have, you can drop your suggestions, comments, anything positive or negative things will be taken by us, and we'll try to improve our upcoming things. Thank you so much.